You excited? Okay. Well, this is really for you, so I don't, not that I don't care if nobody else joins, but I know it's you and I see somebody else in here. Sorry. Ring camera's going off. Let me cut this off. So you and somebody else is in here and I don't know who it is because it doesn't show me. But if you guys could share the live. If you have like Facebook or whatever, I think you can share on, yeah, Facebook, I think. Hello. Okay. I'm gonna get started for you. So I actually went and bought a box from Walmart for some baking soda because I want to do I normally go to Sam's and get the big bags. I just grabbed the box from Walmart because I wanted to do a white and most of my stuff has been used up. I done dyed it up, everything. And my outside is a little, I had to come inside because my neighbor had her air conditioner on. Her unit is like right there where I'm set up outside, so. And this is, like I said, this is a fresh box. And sometimes it have chunks in it. Well, I get bags, so I still don't even buy boxes. But just make sure that it's sifted out pretty good. I love fresh powder too. This is my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing to crush. But I got I wish I could add you in the live, so if you had questions, let me see if I know how to do that. Let me see. Nope. Trying to see if I can add you so you can at least be on here with your voice. You don't have to be on camera. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't, it ain't like TikTok, so I don't have a way to add you. But I guess you just type whatever. Actually, let me pull up my other phone so I can see whatever messages you have. Whatever messages, whatever questions you have, I don't know. The only thing I don't like about the baking soda is it make my hands rough, but I kind of just wanted to do it without it. But I normally put, yeah, I normally use gloves. I started doing that, mixing it, because my hands used to be tore up, okay? Okay. And cut the volume down. I don't want to hear myself talking. Cut the ringer down. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and even though you can see it's pretty sifted, now this is with a fresh, and actually I think I got some orange Wilton food coloring. I can do that too, to show you how to do it with the actual, which is really simple, but with the actual pure white. Because when I use them other colors, it changes a different color, which I'm fine with that, because I threw away a big old container full of powder, because what I started doing, instead of wasting my good colors, I started recycling the other colors that I had, which would normally turn out to be like a pinkish like color. And I'll show you that when I go outside. So I have like it's a big bucket, but it's a smaller bucket than what I had. Cause I literally had like a 90-something gallon bucket full of baking soda. And I just tossed it all away, because I'm like, that's just way too much. Like, I'll never reform it. And so the other bucket that I have is maybe 30 gallons or so, 30, 40. And so that's just filled with baking soda. Anyway, let me wipe this off. I got some crap right here. So whenever I'm sifting white, I always try to make it see, because I always try to clean this sifter, because the other colors can stain it. And actually, I'm gonna sift it on here. Am I too close? Let me see if I can move this. Actually, let me kind of tilt it. It may be a little better. Okay. So yeah, I just going through and sifting it out. Because for some reason, it's like when you sift it, it just gives it for me, it gives it a good texture. Like, this right here is literally different from this right here. I can feel the difference just from sifting it. Okay. Yeah, big difference. It's more like powdery. And you can sift as many times as you want, really. Sometimes I do it twice. So even though I did this, I'll take it and go back in the bowl that I'm using and sift it back in the bowl. Oops. I'm sorry, I broke my mic, so I hope the, I hope the volume sounds okay. Yeah, I dropped it one day when I was crushing. I'm just like, really? And that was my spare mic, so I have to buy me 2 more. Okay. Extremely soft. You can hear it. I don't want to do too much powder because I'm inside the house. It'll be dusty in here. Okay. Okay, so this what I'm gonna do by measurement because I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know, like if you. Your name is. Of course, Valencia. That's how you pronounce your name, right? Valencia. What's your nickname? I call you that. I call you by your nickname. But remember though, sifting is a really, really important part. And I'm just see if I can put it side by side like that. So I can just kind of show you. It's easier when you're being shown than somebody like, oh, put this in there and put that in there. So I'm not leveling it off like I'm actually baking because it really don't matter. So just 1 cup. And I don't have a measurement, honestly. It's really about a texture, but this is just to kind of give a measurement. Right? I know more than likely this is another thing I do. I always set like say if I'm using my colored powder or whatever, I don't go and be like, oh, I got 5 cups of that, and then yeah, I'm gonna save a cup. You know, I just put whatever in there, and then I'll leave like a certain amount out, because if I put too much water, it's just like with cooking. If you put too much, you can always add to it, but you can't take away. So I always just like to make sure that I have a little extra, you know, to cover that just in case. So when I'm adding that extra, I know that's all I got. So I'm being careful with it. But all right, let's get some water. Where's my jug? And another thing too, Valencia, you can also add baby powder and fabric softener as well. It gives it a different texture too. And I got some of both of those. So let me add some of that. And these are literally from the dollar store. So, I mean, this is not anything that's like super important to me to be like, oh, let me go and get some Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, because I'm not, see, dollar store, literally. And I think this may make it a little more powdery. So, yeah. And there's really no measurement to this, just whatever. But of course, that did take it up. But you want to add this before you add any water to it, and just mix it up. And somebody asked me the other day, why would you go live and tell somebody that? I'm like, I don't gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? This whatever God got for me is for me anyway. So I'm not worried about this is a hobby for me. So, yeah, I'm not goofy like that. I really don't care. And this right here is just some fabric softener. This is just something I picked up from the dollar store as well. If I had fabric softener, I would probably use like Gain or Tide or something. But I mean, this is cheap. Of course, I'm not gonna spend no money buying nothing expensive for me to play with. So, and actually, you probably would want to mix this. I hate wet textures. Ew. And this is actually not even going to change the color. As you can see, even though that was blue, this texture is still white. I mean, the color, I'm sorry. Now as I'm adding this, now you see I put the what I do, 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of baking soda, and then the squirts of baby powder. It feels like, have you ever made like flour wet before? This is what this feels like. That's what this texture feels like, if that makes sense. You wet just water and flour, and you're like, oh man, with just like a little bit, not too much water, but there's too much water when you wet flour. It starts to get like a gummy, but yeah. So I would just mix this well. That's the key. And sorry, my husband in there, we goofy. We be making silly noises and stuff, so he just in the room hollering for no reason. If he knew I was on live, he'd be like, why you didn't tell me you was live? Well, could be in a goofball. Okay. And even with this, I would probably sift this. And as wet as it is, I'm almost wondering if I even need any water. Because as you can see, I can make a snowball. And if you ever wanted to do the balls, that's normally what I do. I would just do them like this and kind of round it off gently. It looks like I'm being rough, but I'm not. So if you ever wanted to make some videos and you want to do, I'm gonna make videos with balls. This with colored powder or white, whatever whatever you want to use, and you just, like that, and you just smoothing it off. It's not gonna be perfect, of course, but yeah. So that's something you can do. But because this texture actually feels really good, this is something that I would honestly probably sift, just because of the way if you had it in your hand and you could feel it, like, you wouldn't really know what I mean, but you kind of get an idea. Okay, but I do have 1 tablespoon. You can see so much powder on there, but that's 1 tablespoon. So since I put that fabric softener in here, I'm only gonna put 1 tablespoon. And another thing too, using using fabric softener. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Using fabric softener, with this, you wouldn't have to add it anymore. If you didn't want to, when you want to reuse this, yeah, you wouldn't have to re-add it anymore. And I'm gonna be honest, when I go outside, I'm gonna show you what I have outside. Literally, the stuff that I have out there is, I've been doing this since August 30th of last year, so almost a year. And most of the colors that I have are, well, not most of them, maybe half of them, are from last year. A lot of this baking soda from last year. I literally used to get I would go to Sam's like every other day, and I would get like 3 or 4 bags, and then I was just practicing with like the coloring and things like that. As you can see, this right here too, jumping off subject real quick. This is it's like a snow. You ever went outside and played in the snow? This is, when I sifted this came out to a snowy feel. So this is what this feels like. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how to, the things that you can use. These are things too that I kept when I first started. If you go back to some of my videos, you'll see that they are, these are really the shapes that I use. And these are things that I got from the dollar store. And, yeah. And then you could just shape them how you want to when you decorate them, or whatever. When you're ready to do your videos. I see a lot of people, they do like the geometric like shapes and stuff in their videos. Okay, so this is good. Like literally with that, with this is how big the fabric softener thing is. But I don't even think I even filled it to the top. And this is with 3 cups of baking soda, and then I did the 1 teaspoon of water. So okay, so this, I'm just taking this and I'm filling this up, right? And I just want to press down a little bit. You see that right there? That's like a little air bubble. So I'm going to take that out. And I actually had wet this because I keep all my stuff outside. But like I said, my neighbor, she got her air conditioner on, and I want you to be able to hear me. But anyway, so I would just kind of take my hand and press it down, but not too hard. And as you can see, pressing it just a little, I feel in those air bubbles. Well, it's like a little, let's see if I can redo it. I need to get that out of there. Give me a minute. That's messing it up. Plus it's wet because I wiped them out. And I hope this is helping some. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out. Okay, let's try it again. And I actually gave it a little bit hard, a little bit firmer press to get down in there. You don't have to be perfect. Like I said, this is just for fun. It's something to do as therapy or whatever for some people. And then I just take my hand, as you can see, and I'm wiping off the top, right? And then normally I have like some trays, or I would put it on something like this. I brought this inside. This is a really big thing, and I'll show you because I got this whole little area up here. So, okay, so I normally set this. I got this thing right here from Lowe's, $11, and it's just helpful. I used to use for my background on some of my older videos. I used to use a what is it called? A plexiglass. I'm sorry. And then I would get some sheets, some construction sheets from the dollar store, and I would change my background. I would just slide it up under there and change my background for every to match whatever project I was doing. I know I got an imagination. I had an imagination as a kid. So that's where that kind of came from. But as you can see, this right here, so I would just take this glass and be careful pulling it off, and then boom, you got a shape. What you think about that? You got a shape. Okay. Hey, Doodle. Yeah, I was going live for Valencia, because she said she was throwing baking soda away. I'm like, hello, girl, you can't be throwing no baking soda away. So I'm just, it's easier when somebody actually showing you as opposed to telling you, well, do this, and no, you got to do it that way. And, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. So, and then sometimes, too, I used to take stuff and push it down with it, too, give it like a little firm push. I have some smaller, and I got these from the dollar store. I literally use this stuff for the dollar store. So me and my husband, we owned a a food trailer. We sold it last year to this couple from Trinidad. So these are my pans and stuff like that. Some of them, some of my bowls, and I'm like, I'll just use these. I mean, it's baking soda. If I ever had to use these again, I have more in my shed, but I probably wouldn't. And then this is another thing too, dollar store, like literally dollar store. So I used to do like this because I used to be afraid that I was gonna drop it and mess it up. So I would just do this and then slide it off to make sure that it didn't come off. And then boom, now you got two. Now if I was outside, I would leave this out there to dry, but it's in the house, and I have this sitting on the island in the kitchen, so I'm gonna have to get this out of here. My husband's gonna be like, girl. But as you can see, I just literally picked this up with my hand, so you can see how firm it is, you know, even before drying. Okay, so again, dollar store, and I think you get like 2 of these in a thing. So same thing, dollar store. Okay. And you just want to pack it in. I've seen some people like pack theirs all the way in and go down and take it down. That don't work for me. Yeah, that just, oh, wait a minute. I think this was still wet. I forgot I washed these. That's another thing too. You can always just take the soda and dry it out like that. Okay. So yeah. Of course, my hand can't go all the way down there. And as you can see, it's pushing it down. And I'm barely tapping this. But I'm pushing it enough where it's going down. And once it get big enough, I just take my hand. Because for one, you want to make sure that it's able to come out. And when it comes out, you want to make sure that it's sticking together. Sorry, I'm messy. That's why my husband put me outside with this. Okay. And so, boom, like I said, I would just take this and like that and come off of it very slow. I don't have a steady hand, so if I can do this, you can do this. Okay? And then I'm going to just take this down. I don't want to move this because it was telling me to turn my camera right side up and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, here we go. So, oh, it did it again. Yep, told me to do it anyway. Okay, so anyway, you can see that, right? Yes, Doodle, you can, yep, don't have to keep them in the mold. Make as many as you want, yep. And that's how you do it, you know. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I was telling Valencia, I said, somebody said, why would you show somebody your secrets? I'm like, it's not a secret. This came with trial and error, you know? And I figured it out. And so I do like to be innovative, and that's why I ended up doing the character modes. Actually, it was my husband's idea. Because I was like, I just want to do something different. I'm like, everybody's like doing the same thing with the shapes and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I want to do something different. And so he loves to go Goodwill hopping. And he saw I was with him actually that day. And he was like, it's a Big Bird mold over here. You should do that. So I credit my husband and my youngest son, because my youngest son is the one who got me doing this right here with the baking soda. He's like, you should make some ASMR baking videos. They do chalk. And I'm like, chalk? I'm like, I don't know about that. That could be a little expensive. And I don't know if I want to really like spend a lot of money doing chalk. So I'm like, I'll try baking soda. But it definitely was trial and error messing with this. So, well, I wet these, so that didn't come out right. Yeah, I love watching the chalk videos, though. I kid you not, man. Some of those reforms be like, I love it. Now, Valencia, if you want to make this, if you want to make your, this actually right here, if I let this dry, it will be crunchy. And it will be so crunchy, like when you pop it, it will be like, you heard that little pop on it? And then when you get to the inside, it will be sandy with this texture right here. Now, if you want it crunchier, you will add a little bit more water. But I mean, if you add too much water, honestly, it'll be so hard, it'll hurt your fingers. Like you probably, you know, not excruciating pain, but it would definitely hurt your fingers. But yeah, there we go. And this right here, I think this is something I found at the Goodwill too. I'm gonna show y'all my mold. My shed is a little junky, so don't y'all talk about me. I got my son's stuff in there until he come back and get it. So I had to kind of go in there and straighten it around a little bit. I'm about ready to throw it away because I hate have stuff piled up. Like I don't like the pack rat type stuff. It bothers me. Literally. Okay. This right here too, Valencia. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. You like 5 of these. Flip it. Bam. Got you a shape. There you go, girl. There you go, girl. This right here is a kinetic sand thingy thing. I got this from, where did I get this from? Walmart maybe last year. I think I got this from Walmart because I was just looking for all type of different shapes because I'm like, nobody would tell you where they got their shapes from and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm not one to ask. I'm going to figure this out. But I'm gonna dump this because I'm going to need some more powder. So let's just kind of show you. But, yeah. Now, when it comes to shapes like this, I will pile it on. Now, when you do something like this, Valencia, I'm going to tell you what you can do, girl. When this dries, when this okay. Hey, what's wrong? I had my phone on mute because I'm on YouTube live. And I just saw it because you called me on the phone that I was live on. Okay. Yeah, what's up? Oh. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He'll do it. He'll do it. Yeah, I know. Hey, well, let me finish up this live and then I'll call you back, okay? Okay, sweetheart. Okay. That's my only daughter, y'all. Sorry. She in St. Louis. I'm in Texas. I had to answer. When she calls, I'm answering. Okay. So, Valencia, boom. It's dry, right? Don't worry about the blue thing because it's dry. So, boom, boom, boom. You want to spice up your little, crush. And you want to add something to it. You see where we going with this? You got you a snow cone now, girl. You got you a snow cone. You see it's building up? I hate to move this. Oh, every time I do this, it makes me... Let me turn my camera back up right. Okay, it's upright. I'm trying to show you without tilting it, but just imagine that this is the white down here, the blue. And then bam. Literally. Or You know, just say you was doing like, say you were doing a blue color and you want to add some yellow on top, you know, dust it on top. And then most people, and then like you would just literally let that dry too, right? Chalk is cheaper than baking soda, really? I love baking soda too. I just love the texture. It just feels so great. Okay. Okay, let me go back on here so I can see. Okay, boom. So yeah. And then you would just, some people I've seen them like take it, they'll crush down and whatever, however you want to crush it. But as you can see, boom, that's that, right? Okay, now I'm gonna show you something else. When you have a shape like this, something else that you can do. You do kind of want to press it down because it's fluffy in there. And as you can see, I'm barely doing this. So boom, 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 boom. And I always just take my hand and smooth it off. Because bam, just like that, it's done. All right? Now, okay, you can do shapes like this. If you wanted to make like your little dome shapes or whatever. You can do them in multicolors. Or you can just do white. I love all white crushes. I be wanting to just, I said I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to just take one of these molds. And I'm just going to one of these character molds. And this is going to be an all white mold crush. Bam. Okay. And then just like that, boom. Okay. Now, Valencia, you got these two, right? When these dry, guess what? I knew this was going to come apart, but you can put them together. And now guess what? You got a ball. And then when they dry, you just take the size of them and do like that. And people will actually think that it's a whole ball until you start crushing it. How cool is that? Okay, what else we got? And then sometimes too, if anything can make a shape, guess what? It's a mold for me. So this right here alone, a mold. A mold, okay? Cause what? Cause what? Cause Valencia want to do a little mini mass crush? Okay, I see you, girl. Okay. Bam. And you just got to hold. Oh, hold on. Thought that was on the thing. Okay. I mean, literally, just like that. So it's all kind of ways you can make stuff. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let me see. I was going to, and then this is something right here I think I got from the dollar store. I didn't get this from the dollar store. I think I got this from Goodwill, pretty sure. I have so many of these heart molds. Valencia, and the best thing for baking soda is metal pans. It's some people, my girl, ASMR Crush 22 Crush, she is on TikTok. I don't know if she have a YouTube, but she can use these silicone molds. Sometimes they just don't work for me. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But for the most part, this the best. This is my go-to because I don't have time to be playing like I ain't got that. I ain't there. And I got so many of these, I really don't even care about using the silicone molds because, of course, these are more. Sorry, I was playing around with chalk. Of course, some chalk I had a while back. Let me toss this. I don't think chalk worked that well with these yellow pans. I'm gonna dry this off because I don't want to mess up the white, I guess. So I don't even have any more white. Everything is colored because most of these molds that I have is colored. So I just have like a little bag of white off to the side that I use for like when I'm doing like the eyeballs and stuff, because that's mainly the stuff that need the white. So yeah, I'm gonna clean these off because I don't want to mix up the color. So bear with me while I do this real quick. And these right here, mostly all of my pans are Wilton cake pans, and I've gotten them from like thrift stores. I think these right here I got from Big Lots. Actually, I think I paid like $7 for these. These are donut hole pans. So yeah. I recently threw a lot of molds away when I was like probably about 3-4 weeks ago when I was cleaning out the shed, or what I call myself cleaning out the best I could. It's like I said, my son's stuff is in there, so. But anyway, bam. So this is how the people get their donut molds, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, that little bit of fabric softener that I put in there, these smell amazing. And I've never used it before either, but this smells really good. Now, because this is not so deep, that makes a difference too, Valencia. So when the deeper your stuff is, the more you want to press down, because you want to make sure that you don't have that like air pocket in there. But again, like I said, you don't want to press hard. With this right here, I could just literally now this is something that I could just literally lay everything on top, because it's kind of shallow. And then I would just take my hand and, you know, go over it like that. And just a FYI, why my husband will laugh at me. Sometimes he still laugh at me with this. He say, well, whatever makes you happy. I mean, it just give me something to do, you know? I'm 48, so I got some grandbabies on the way in December. I'm excited about that. My first grandbabies. Oh, thank you, Valencia. So these right here, I'm literally gonna take these outside when I go out and show you the my little setup out here. And it gets dusty. I always take the blower like once a week or every other weekend. Well, it depends on if I'm out there reforming. If I'm out there reforming, then, and I really made a big mess, because, I mean, I dropped a couple of things on the ground. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get that up right now. I'm not bringing the blower out for that. And I don't know where my outside broom is, because my husband always moving stuff up. That's one. But I would literally leave these out there to dry. It's so hot here in Texas. When I tell you this stuff will dry by tonight, it'll be ready to crush by tomorrow. Literally. Okay. So, of course, I only did them 3 cups. So that's a good thing to know too. Now you see I did those 3 cups. They kind of show you how much. It depends. That's another thing. It depends on what you're actually trying to make and what you're doing. That is one reason why I use some of this stuff that I have outside as a filler, because I don't like to use all of my good colors. You know, like if I'm making something with orange, yellow, purple, green, I don't want to use all of my orange, yellow, purple, and green. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just buying more stuff, and you know, so what I would do is make sure the base of it is pretty much filled with that color, and then I'll go in with the filler stuff because it just makes more sense. And then as you seen with the blue stuff that I use, I can just go back and reuse it. And the reused baking soda, because it's most of the time like a purple or a pinkish color, I just go back and use it for like a darker color. I may use some black, or you know, I may use it to make some more purple. But it's always being reformed, and this doesn't go bad. Like this baking soda, it doesn't mold for me. I don't know. Heard somebody say that their baking soda mold. Like I said, I've had mine almost a year, and it doesn't stink or anything. So yeah. And then I always sift it. You know, make sure I go back. Now this bucket that I have out here, all of it isn't sifted, but it doesn't stink. There's no mold, nothing like that. So okay, so that's pretty much that. Okay, let me see, what else can we do, Valencia? I can show you how I do it with the colored the colored baking soda. Let me wash my hands. Then I always store it. Always store it. I'm gonna put a glove on because I don't want my hands to be wet. I don't know how long YouTube allows me to be alive. The metal thing. Are you talking about this right here? And yeah, I'll make sure this live stay on here. Yep, I sure will. I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. I got big old hands, y'all. My daddy blessed me with these big old hands. Now, this is some blue that I have from that tutorial that I showed last time, right? Okay. I always put it in Ziploc bags. I have some in containers, and then in Ziploc bags too. Okay. So now I showed you with the measurements, and then I'm gonna show you how I do it when I don't have when I don't use measurements. Again, remember I told you that I always sift it, just even though this is already sifted, I just still like to go in and sift it again. I mean, it could never hurt. So. Okay. Then I'm gonna show you outside, and then I'm gonna get off of here. Unless there's something else you need me to show you. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask me. I will answer them if I know the answer. So again, sifting. I always make a mess, so. But that's what the board is for. And I always put too much in here, so yeah, I do too much. Like I can really sift all of that out at once. Let's see. This is a lot of glitter. That's what all of this is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this off to the side so I can have more blue. Okay, so I'm gonna show you with this, right? I don't this is no measurements. Like, this is just me freestyling it to give you an idea. Okay, so I'm gonna pour some water in here. I know that I don't want a lot of water, right? Because this baking soda, it's not chalk. You can't, you can't put a lot of water. So you just putting a little bit, and you feeling, basically feeling like the texture. And don't think just mixing it around a couple of times is gonna work. Like, you gotta work it in. I usually put more baking soda than this because if I'm making a mold, it's probably gonna be some. It's gonna need a lot of baking soda to fill in the back end. So I use a lot. Now this right here, I'm getting somewhere, right? It's getting like a bit of a hole, but it's still dusty. So I know I need to add a little bit more water, but again, I don't want to add too much. Okay. That seemed like a lot. That may be like a teaspoon and a half. I know that this is enough. I know for a fact that this is going to be enough. I can just feel it. Like when you get your hand in it, you can just feel it. No, if I put as much, you know what? I did doodle. I did put as much as doing, like, well, not that much because that's a lot. But literally, like, oh my goodness. You would probably have to throw it away if you don't have any more chalk to fill it in. I mean, chalk, baking soda to fill it in. Now look, you see it's getting an even more stronger hold. Like, I dropped it. You see what I'm saying? And it didn't even come apart. I should have did that with the first one to show the difference, but I mean, even in my hand, you could see the first time that it was. All right. All right. So bam, here we go. Now we doing the colored. The colored, for some reason, it's a little bit rougher than the, it's a little bit rougher than the white, you know. Not necessarily rougher, but you could just feel the difference, you know. Once you do it, you'll know what I'm saying. And again, I'm just lightly patting down. And then just topping it off. Bam. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it and take it off slow. When I first started doing these, they would just fall apart. As you can see, this tried to fall apart right here. So what I would do is just fake it till you make it, baby. Smooth it off. Smooth it off. And you good to go. Okay. All right. So, all right, I'm going. Did you want me to show you anything else, Nancy? So when you will feel like it's not coated. I'm telling you, because I used to do that. And if you go back and look at some of my older videos, you could tell some of them was softer, some of them was crunchier. And that was just from me experimenting with it, you know. But like this right here, you feel like it's not enough. Trust me, it's enough. When it dries, it hits different. It really does. And then, like I said, make sure you sifting it too. Like, even just sitting like this plant, sometimes when when I have some chalk that I haven't sifted out, if I did like a couple of crushes that day, because I've tried to get so many done to, so I can record. I mean, so I can empty my, so I can edit. I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. I don't always sift it right away, especially if I'm outside, because most of the time I'm outside and it's hot. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this sit out here and I'll just make a pile. I'll make piles on this thing and they just sit off to the side. And then I'll go back out later that day and I'll sift some and then put that up or whatever. So yeah. Not that it's a lot of work, it's just this Texas heat is not to be played with. So I have to do it like early in the morning or late at night. Like right now, I'm in the air. And I'm gonna go out here and show y'all my stuff real quick because I know y'all got things to do and I thank y'all for being here with me this Saturday. And Valencia, anytime you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I do not mind asking if I can help you. So you make the crunchier ones by adding more water. But again, the key to it is adding a little at a time. This is how you want your texture. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna add more water, and that's just because I got more baking soda. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. That's too much water right there. Now I'm gonna show you. You see how that is? Now, actually, yeah, this is like. Okay, have you ever went outside and picked up wet mud? This is what this feels like right here. Almost. Wet mud that's drying like a little bit. This is what this texture feels like. This right here is going to make it crunchy. If that makes sense. You see how I was able to mold this? Now the other one, when I did that, I didn't do that. I had to be gentle with it because I had less water. I'm literally tossing this. You know what I'm saying? So the more water you add, the harder it gets. But keep in mind, it's hard. And when it dries, it's going to be even harder. Because this is baking soda. And normally I would have on a mask. If I'm in the house, most of the time I'm outside. I'm well ventilated, so I always make sure you're in a well ventilated space too. But me, I wouldn't even use this. For the molds that I use, I mean, I probably would. I probably would, Doodle. Yeah. You're welcome. I probably would use this on my molds because sometimes like I said, it depends on the colors too. So yeah. But let me get this up. I'm gonna run out here and show y'all the show y'all the shed.